Hello and welcome to the Techforce podcast show. I'm your host Shivani. The topic for today is mental health. Our guest today is Simran Khurmi. She is author at Psychologues magazine. She is also currently pursuing MSc in clinical psychology. Hi Simran, welcome to the show.
Hi, Shivani. Thank you.
How are you?
Thank you for having me here. Yeah, I'm doing good.
All right. So, why don't you tell our listeners what do you do?
Yeah, so I am a psychologist with Masters in Clinical Psychology and UGC Net qualified. I
Okay.
am currently an author at Psychologues magazine, which is India's first psychology magazine. And I am also a part-time counselor rendering mental health services to people in need.
Oh, that's great to hear. Uh,
Yeah,
so
thank you.
okay, what do you think are the common myths around the topic today we are going to discuss?
So there are significant stigmas attached to mental health illness in our society. Some of them are like mental health problems, they are a sign of weakness, or going to a therapist means you are weak and crazy, or
Yes.
like mental health problems, they are permanent, they will never go once you have it, or you can easily get over with them on your own. Why need a therapist or some medications or anything? Or yeah, there are so many of them.
It must be tough to choose a career like this, right? Like
Yes, yeah.
it's so much like people are discussing these days, and it's really good now that people are discussing it finally. It's high time that we discuss this topic these days.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yes. So let me ask you a general question. How was it 2020?
So my 2020, okay. It wasn't okay. So as an introvert, I didn't have much problems with that restricted social interaction thing. But as a workaholic, as someone who prefers to, get attached, I am very attached to my work and my counseling services. So I did face restrictions that I felt that there were many barriers to expression of my creativity. So I started writing blogs actually. So thanks to that, I'm currently an author at Psychologues.
Oh,
And yeah, I started giving free counseling services to people in need. And that actually did give me peace and contentment that helped me get out of the blues of the pandemic. And not thankful enough, I also cleared the UGC NET exam. So
oh,
it wasn't that
congrats.
bad. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, so I feel that 2020, the whole pandemic situation affected people a lot. Like if you are an introvert, if you are not an introvert, like it affected people's mental health a lot. Like
Yeah,
everything with businesses being shut down and things going not as planned as we were like hoping for the next new year to go. It was really a rough time for everybody out there.
yeah, definitely it was.
Yes, so today's topic is mental health and how we should talk about it. So,
Yeah.
you being an expert in this, I would like to know that how much important it is to talk about mental health at workplace.
Yeah. So, workers or our employees, they are the center or the leading head of an organization. And
Yes,
although a
right.
lot has been done in today's economy to help them, but there's still a giant hole when it comes to understanding and accepting their mental illness in a society and so in an organization. So, mental illness is definitely a challenge in terms of assessing someone's productivity at work, but it is not a weakness. So it becomes quite important for us to ensure that our employees are mentally healthy, they're emotionally healthy, not only in order to understand their productivity, but also increase the employee retention and decrease the number of absenteeism we have. And the benefits are definitely vice versa. So yeah, that's
Uh,
it.
yes, right. Okay, so the next question is, what are the signs and symptoms one should look for in poor mental health?
Okay. So it is not very difficult for you or your closed ones to identify that you are going through some mental health crisis. Some common signs that are seen in almost everyone with mental health issues, they can be low mood, decreased interest in daily activities or the ones we used to enjoy before the most, crying spells, poor concentration, being irritated most of the time, fatigue, which is not that usual, or decreased social interest and activities. There's also increased use of alcohol and drugs, lots of aggression, being easily distracted, inability to cope with our daily life stressors. And yeah, most importantly, the suicidal ideation. All these they are, they are one of the major symptoms that we can easily see. And we need to support people, we need to tell them it's okay to open up about your problems and tell us. Yeah.
Yeah, yes, right. Okay, thank you. And being in this career, what were the hurdles you personally faced in this field as a counseling and the blogs you write?
Okay, so being in this career, the first thing is the thing we already talked about. There are lots and lots of stigmas, and it's very hard to convince people that it's okay to seek mental health services. It's fine if you're going to a counselor. We do go for normal health checkups, and so it is very quite normal to go to a mental health counselor to have a checkup for your daily mental health as well. Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. So, can you, what is a better option? Like, people should go for therapy, or they should take medication if one is suffering from any mental health, mental illness?
So I would say that in today's date, both therapy and medicines, they go in hand. So for certain
Okay,
disorders like anxiety disorders, we have adjustment disorders or mild to moderate depression or panic disorders, etc. They can be easily treated solely with the help of psychotherapy, but there are certain disorders like schizophrenia and other psychotic disorders where we have certain severe cases. Medicines go hand in hand, they go along with the psychotherapy. So both of them are
okay,
actually quite a good combination to go for.
okay, okay. That's good to know. Uh, can people stabilize mental health, mental illness with only medication? Like, we can just get a prescription from someone, and we can just go through medication only, and no therapy is taken by by the person.
To a great extent, that science has evolved in numerous fields, and even in psychiatry, we do have a number of medicines that have been proven to be quite effective in terms of treating depression, anxiety, OCD, schizophrenia, and so many other disorders. So there are, certain exceptions in certain complicated cases, but overall medicines they work quite well in stabilizing and treating you. But psychotherapy is equally recommended in terms of treating any kind of mental illness. So as I said before, both of these go hand in hand when it comes to, treating yourself from any kind of mental illness.
All right, all right. And what compelled you to become a psychologist? Like, as you are pursuing this career, like, what was your driving force to go into this particular field?
Yeah, so ever since my high school years, I wanted to serve humanity by becoming a doctor. And while growing
Okay.
up, I realized that a society needed more mental health professionals than medical doctors. So the major reasons
Yes,
being, the lack of awareness and the associated stigmas with mental health. And that's what made me dive into the career. Yeah.
yes, right. As a kids, like, we were never allowed to talk about certain topics if you are suffering from mental health, and we were told that, don't be crazy and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, thanks to people like you who are doing such a great job in this field.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Thank you.
Yeah, so I want to know, like, how mental health affects physical health.
Okay, sure. So in this, having a poor mental health, it not only weakens your immune system, but it also affects your ability to fight off chronic diseases. It also
Okay.
predisposes a person to consumption of alcohol and drugs, and not only that, it also increases the risk of suffering from serious health issues, like heart diseases, or it may also worsen your already existing diseases. Because all this is because we know that our mind and body, they go hand in hand, they're parallel to each other. So if you are feeling good about yourself, that makes you do good for yourself. So yeah, both of them, your mental health and your physical health, are quite related to each other.
Okay. All right. So, coming to the end of this episode, what kind of a career advice you would like to give to people who are trying to pursue the same career as you?
Okay. I would say be genuine, be kind, empathetic to yourself, to your career, to your patients you have. And most importantly, before trying your psychotherapeutic skills on others, make sure you employ them in your personal life as well. Yeah.
That's a great note to end this episode. Simran, thank you so much for joining this podcast and shedding the light on a very few topics regarding mental health and how we should pursue it. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Yeah, it was my pleasure. Thank you for having me here. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So today we discussed about mental health and various stigmas around it. What mental health needs is more sunlight and more unashamed conversation. For more such interesting topics, stay tuned on Techforce podcast show. Stay safe and keep your mental health healthy. Goodbye.